Hello and welcome back to 100 Yards of Football Sports Talk Radio. I'm your producer, Jeremiah Long, and joining me to talk about our NCAA Week 6 coverage of the Arkansas Razorbacks versus the Mississippi State Bulldogs, it's our host, Mr. Logan Landers. How's it going, man?
Hey, what's going on, Jeremiah? I got some awesome football to talk about this week, man. Arkansas, Mississippi State. It's going to be an absolutely tremendous game this upcoming Saturday.
Absolutely. And I think that, our founder and one of our hosts, Mr. Vincent Turner, he loves Arkansas football. And so I know that he's going to be on the edge of his seat for this one. I'm feeling this briskness in the air, decided to broadcast outside today. And so I'm really excited for football weather, which we have just totally hit here in the beginning of October. So, yeah, without further ado, Mr. Logan Landers, what do we have to look forward to for Arkansas and Mississippi State?
Man, let's talk about these teams here. Let's talk about Arkansas, right? Man, they had a tough task this past week. They went up against Alabama, right? That's a tough one. In the game, like I said, they lost 49-26. Not too bad, though, when you think about it, right? It wasn't like they were completely blown out. They did shut them out in the third quarter, to be fair. We all know Alabama had the injury to Bryce Young, took him out of the game. So let's talk about this team, though, man. Like I said, they did their best, just wasn't enough against this stacked team in Alabama. KJ Jefferson, 13-24, 155 yards, and one score for him. No INTs. But let's talk about the running game, though, what they were able to do. And 51 carries for 187 yards. That's not too bad. Not too shabby at all. And looking at the team, leading the way for them was Raheem Sanders, 22 carries for 101 yards. Really good for him, right? Really good. And, I mean, they're going to need that this upcoming week, too, if they're going to want to beat Mississippi State. Looking at this team, though, the receiving core, Ketron Jackson, 4 catches for 48. Jadon Hazelwood, a name we're bringing up pretty often here, 6 catches for 37. And the defense, they did their best, Jeremiah. They did their best, but just wasn't enough. Gave up almost 50 points. Drew Sanders led the way with 12 tackles. Bumper pull behind him with 10. For the team, who is just an absolute sack machine, only able to get one on the day, and that was thanks in part to Drew Sanders. 4 tackles for loss, 2 pass defended, and Dwight McGlotherin got an interception on the day. But, hey, that was a tough task they had to do against Alabama. They did their best, all in all. And looking at Mississippi State, man, they are coming off a big win against Texas A&M. Puts them at now 4-1 on the season. And in the game against the Aggies, Will Rogers, 31 of 45 passing, 329 yards, a 7.3 average, 3 touchdowns, no interception. So a tremendous game for that QB right there. The running game, right? Dylan Johnson led the way with 14 carries for 68 yards, and Jaquavis Marks 7 carries for 54. That's team 24 carries, 144 yards, 1 touchdown, not bad at all. On the receiving end, Ra Thomas, 5 catches for 134 yards, a tremendous day. Just eye-popping 26.8 average and 1 touchdown. Justin Robinson behind him, 6 catches for 50. As a team, right, the defense gave up 24 points. Not too bad. Shut them out in the first half. Johnson led the way with 10 tackles, with Richardson behind him with 9. As a team, they had 4 sacks on the day, 6 total tackles for loss, and 3 pass defended. 2 interceptions for Mr. Emmanuel Forbes, with one of those getting a house call going back for 6. So a great win for Mississippi State. And as for the Arkansas Razorbacks, man, they're just trying to get things rolling. It's been rough go for them. Mississippi State's got the hot hand right now. So in this battle, man, this is going to be a good one. Mississippi State is now ranked number 23 in the nation. I think this is going to be a good matchup. It's a high-powered offense versus a tremendous defense, man. And this is a very, very tough game to call. This can go either way. But, I'm feeling a little gutsy today, Jeremiah. I'm feeling something. It might be, Mr. Football. He might be looking down at this video. He might be watching from. He might be he's sending some brain signals to me, Jay. And I think he's going to tell me. He wants me to call the Hogs. He wants me to go with the Razorbacks in this one. So I'm going to go with Arkansas getting the upset in this one. It's going to be a good ball game. I think that the final score for this one, I'm going to go with Arkansas getting the W in the upset. I'm going to go Arkansas 30, and I'm going to go Mississippi State 27, a 3-point ball game, maybe a late field goal to get the win. I'm just saying. But I just think this Arkansas team is due for a big win, and I think that they can get it here, Mississippi State. But, hey, like I said, it can go either way. That's just my predictions.
Wow. Yeah, I can see that. That's incredible, and I think that a lot of our staff would love to see what happens in that scenario. I definitely know a lot of our fans that love college football would love to see that. So tell us, everyone watching the video, tell us in the comments, what do you think the final score will be? What do you think the keys to the game are? And what does Mississippi State or Arkansas have to do to get the win? We definitely want to hear from you. And if you're listening to our podcast right now, first off, thank you so much. We love our podcast listeners. Our live viewers are amazing. Our podcast listeners are incredible. And there's just different mediums for different folks. Some people just love to listen. So if you aren't listening, though, we'd love for you to join us. You can listen on Spotify. You can listen over on Apple Podcasts, on Amazon, on Google Podcasts, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, anywhere that you listen to podcasts. So if you have a phone device, it's very likely that you have a way to listen to our show right now. If you're on an Android device, you can actually ask it to play 100 yards of football, and it'll play it. And if you are on an Apple device, you can say, please play the latest episode of 100 Yards of Football Sports Talk Radio podcast, and it will play our latest episodes. You can subscribe. You can go back and listen to some of our amazing history specials where we cover some of the greatest plays of the game, the games themselves, the greatest seasons, some of the greatest players, and we even talk about the classic coaches. So those episodes are what we call evergreen. You can listen to them anytime, year-round. And so thank you so much to Mr. Logan Landers for that NCAA Week 6 coverage of the Arkansas Razorbacks versus the Mississippi State Bulldogs. I'm your producer, Jeremiah Long, and we'll be back with another live episode. Stay tuned.